posted on TikTok. One lost their job. One reportedly lost their license. This isn't about limiting your voice. It's about understanding that once a post goes viral, you no longer control the narrative. You can be off duty and still lose your license. If you identify as a nurse online, you represent the profession, whether you intend to or not. Employers care about reputation. Boards care about public trust. Burnout is real. Frustration is real. But posting emotionally in the moment can have consequences you didn't anticipate.
I agree with that, but at the same time, I feel like he's losing sight of the fact that those are real people as well. Why does the company, the corporation, the image of a nurse matter more than the actual nurse themselves? Like, you're losing it at that point. Oh, we want this to be respected. Yeah, you're right. But we also want the humans who are making this job a job to feel respected, to feel heard. I understand where he's coming from, but at the same time, it's like he also turned a blind eye to humans. Like, what? People are ruining their careers for 15 minutes of TikTok fame. Video by the Don Webb. Now, I was one of those people that used to be like, you know what I'm saying? Y'all are putting everything on TikTok. Y'all putting everything on TikTok. You guys are gonna lose jobs. Y'all kids gonna see it. And then I went against the grain. Hold up, switch up. And I started saying, who cares if they do this? So many people are uploading so many pieces of content that this backlog that everybody thinks you're gonna see it, that excuse, you're gonna see it, your kids are gonna see it, oh, you're gonna hate it when you're older. No one's gonna know. I could post something right now. No one gives a fuck about it. In 2 weeks from now, no one can see it. It like gets so suppressed by everybody else that's making videos and content and all this other stuff that I'm like, go ahead and do it. Apparently the people doing it for their careers are losing their jobs. Let's get straight into this video.
She been comment me.
I lost my job over a TikTok that I posted yesterday.
So it turns out social media is impacting whether or not I get a job. And they said basically I would be in consideration if I limited my social media presence.
I have completed the investigation and the company has made the decision that we are going to terminate you effective today. And that's for violation of our conduct in the workplace, specifically our social media policy.
I got fired from my job as a lawyer because I posted a TikTok that got a lot of traction.
Well, you can't get fired as a lawyer. I think you could just lose your client or whatever, right? They can't say, hey, you went to school, got your degree. We're taking your degree from you because you was a lawyer. Nah, you just probably got dropped by somebody. And it's probably your fault.
I just got fired from my job this week for making a TikTok. Moral of the story is, don't post TikToks at work. I've learned my lesson and hopefully somebody else will hire me as a surgical tech. I have 5 years of experience in ortho and neuro.
Can you imagine posting TikToks, getting fired, and none of your shit ever went viral? Can you imagine that disgraceful feeling you might have? That's insane. Y'all are absolutely insane. Y'all tripping.
Post-COVID, I definitely understand it's everyone's prerogative to make some extra money. Times are tough, the economy is not that great, and well, TikTok or social media in general is that one thing that you can do to make extra money in the comfort and safety of your home. You don't have to go outside, you don't have to do DoorDash or get some type of gig job. You can literally just sit in your bedroom making videos all day and get paid from it. However, people are doing this to their detriment. You have to understand, you as an individual person, you're a liability for a lot of these big companies. You single-handedly are a failure point. Anything that you do or say can be used against the company itself, and companies, they don't want that. They don't need that type of attention from some random person that works for their company. And I hate to put in those terms, but that's all you are to these people. You're a nobody. As soon as they fire you, they will find another person to replace you without a second guess. And come on, let's not forget, when you get the job for a lot of these
oh yeah, we finna pack your ass up. You shaking ass on the plane? You putting ussy all over my shoulder neck region. Yeah, you finna get fired for sure. I could have told you
companies this. During orientation, you have to fill out user agreements, their social media policy agreements and stuff like that. So you shouldn't be surprised as to why you got fired. You're not supposed to talk about the job. You're not supposed to film in the job. Now, it obviously depends on where you work, but just understand, the more professional the office or the company that you work for, more than likely, they're going to be judging what you do outside of work as well, because you're a representation of that company. You don't have to like that, because I definitely understand everybody has their own life outside of their job. However, you need to take that into consideration when applying for some of these jobs and choosing to work there. And regardless of what job you do work at, no matter if it's a professional environment or not, it's probably best to not make TikToks on the job. Regardless if you're on your break, don't do it. It's foolish, it looks very immature, and not only that, you can get fired from it like some of these people. You have to really understand your priorities, because if you don't,
For me, sometimes I would feel like it depends on what type of TikToks you doing. If you're doing a setup one and you doing the Camden Bop, you doing, you know what I'm saying? You doing get fired. You're cooked. You shouldn't be out there dancing like that, sir. His heart is failing. Help him. But if you one of those people that like just be at work and be like, this is what my lunch looks like. I'm eating this, I'm eating that. Why are you getting fired? You talking about, oh, this is what I packed for lunch. Oh, look, oh yeah, these are my guys. Woo. You know what I'm saying? The company see that and they're like, oh, we don't want that. We don't want you to take a video. You're in the truck right now. You're in the crane right now. Why are you? You don't need to fire that nigga. You don't need to get fired for that.
you're gonna really be doing yourself a disservice. Some of these so-called creators feel the need to be super transparent with their life, and for that, they bring the camera and microphone
Like
into the
this.
workplace at their own detriment. Do not do that. Just because you show people where you work or you do TikToks at your job, it doesn't make you any more relatable.
An Austin ISD elementary school teacher has been fired after posting a viral TikTok about a meeting she recently had with administrators. Sofia De Loreto Chudi, a first-year third grade teacher at Austin Becker Elementary School, was called into a meeting with the principal in March to discuss several concerns administrators had with her style of teaching. Among those listed in a memo included the fact that she allowed students to do a book study on Harry Potter and sit for the Pledge of Allegiance. This is the video she posted that eventually led to her being fired from her job.
Okay, so today I got pulled into a check-in meeting with my administrator at school, and she had this lovely list of concerns that she wanted to bring to my attention. But my favorite amongst them is, we've noticed an intentional attempt at teaching your students about their legal and constitutional rights.
The day after the video was posted, the teacher was put on administrative leave. In a follow-up TikTok posted last week, she said she won't be able to finish out the year with her students because she didn't go through the appropriate channels to file a grievance.
Today I'm finding out that I'm fired. Yeah. So
I don't know. I feel like when you're at your job, I get it. It's for the kids, but at the same time, like, you gotta make them stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Like, it's about respect. Stand up and do it. Because at that age, you're not necessarily, oh, stick it to the man, and oh, y'all are all a whole bunch of capper pigs. Put the 7 on my jersey. Now I'm having pics. Y'all get me? Oh my goodness! I'm really a rapper. My fault, y'all, but like, they don't know none of that. Just have them stand up. They just doing this. I pledge of allegiance to the flag, United States of America. I forgot this shit.
I have always been funny my whole life. Always been a class clown. I always enjoyed making people laugh. I don't know, it does something to my spirit. It makes me feel good, because who doesn't enjoy a laugh? That's just always been the type of person I am. I mean, but I also know how to put on a professional hat and be a professional and all that stuff. You like, whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, I am a jokester. I am. So I blurred the lines. The lines were blurred. I definitely shouldn't have did what I did. I shouldn't have did what I did. So I am always at work, but I want to make content. So it just so happens, it turns out that I be making the content.
She's saying a whole bunch of fucking nothing right now. I ain't gonna lie. Get to it, Pookie.
At work sometimes. And it ain't like all my content was work content at all. Like, you go on my page. Like, when I had to take down the videos, it was only like 4 videos I believe I took down. But anyway, whatever the case may be, I post a video in the kitchen. It says fart sound. And it says how I be farting knowing my smell will blend in with the fajitas and the tacos. And it was that fart sound.
No!
Imagine being
We got
able to
ads. I'm
build
sorry,
anything
y'all.
just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
I didn't even hear what she said. Subscribe. I don't got YouTube
2
Premium.
nurses posted on TikTok. 1 lost their job. 1 reportedly lost their license. This isn't about limiting your voice. It's about understanding that once a post goes viral, you no longer control the narrative. You can be off duty and still lose your license. If you identify as a nurse online, you represent the profession, whether you intend to or not. Employers care about reputation. Boards care about public trust. Burnout is real. Frustration is real. But posting emotionally in the moment can have consequences you didn't anticipate.
What it really
I agree with that, but at the same time, I feel like he's losing sight of the fact that those are real people as well. Why does the company, the corporation, the image of a nurse matter more than the actual nurse themselves? Like, you're losing it at that point. Oh, we want this to be respected. Yeah, you're right. But we also want the humans who are making this job a job to feel respected, to feel heard. I understand where he's coming from, but at the same time, it's like he also turned a blind eye to humans. Like, what
comes down to is these people are using social media as their journal. Instead of going home and writing about your day, what happened, or writing something funny, instead they post it online thinking people like themselves are going to enjoy this type of content, not really understanding anyone and everyone can see this content. And if you're making content in your work uniform, that's even worse, even if it is off the job. I think what people are forgetting is this isn't the same social media as 2010, where you could just post up funny pictures on Instagram and Facebook and nobody really cared. Now, people are leveraging their platform, their brand, and that has a direct effect on the companies or brands that you're representing. Don't get it misconstrued. As an employee for any company or business, you are representing them as an employee, whether you like it or not. And that's the catch-22 about this situation, is that so many people want to make that leap and jump into content creation, but they're still holding on to a job. And for the most part, it will hinder you one way or another, whether you just dip a toe or go full force into content creation. For some people, there's no going back. They can only do content creation for the rest of their lives because of the content that they already post on social media. Some of these people have dug themselves into a hole where they can never get out.
Yeah, I heard when people, with a few people, like when you have a certain background in social media and content creation, they go, like, they've been off rip, just no. We looked at our little database and did our research. I'm pretty sure they just probably put a username in and said, is this you? Oh, we saw the videos you was making. You was talking about, oh, my mom is stuck in my stepmom's stuck inside the washer and dryer. How do I get her out? You was making videos like that, but like 7 years ago. You can't work here. And like, it's a real thing. So like, people struggle with it. You got to go full time or something. But at the same time, I'm like, who will look at that and be like, oh, we don't want you here because what? I had a sense of humor moment. The same moment you have off camera, I had on camera. You know what I'm saying? Or like, you think I'm the same person I was from 7 years ago. I don't know. I feel like it goes situation by situation, profession by profession, in timely manners to like, if you're a nurse and you know you see those nurses that are making TikToks, yeah, there's a stigma there. But if you're dancing shit all the time, I'm like, okay, yeah, you probably shouldn't be doing that, especially inside, because people are like losing lives, people are getting blood drawn, people are getting, yeah, you have cancer. What? I don't need to see a motherfucking nurse dancing. I'm over here being told I got cancer. What? But like, if you're a nurse and you do the get ready with me, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's fine.
Remember how back in the day they used to say, well, if you're covered in tattoos, kiss the idea of a professional career goodbye. Now, in the modern day, it's social media. If you're posting edgy stuff, offensive stuff, wild stuff, and not even necessarily doing anything, but just saying certain things, yeah, you can kiss your career goodbye or your job goodbye. And it's up to the job's discretion. They have the final say so, not you. So you need to be very wary with the type of content that you post online. And not only that, if you really do want to do social media full time, or even think that it might be a possibility, sooner or later you're gonna have to make the leap of faith and understand that you may not ever be able to get another job after this. Now, it depends on the content that you create, the character and personality that you have. Social media could be life altering unless you want to work an entry-level job like McDonald's or Amazon for the rest of your life. Most professional jobs are not going to tolerate any type of behavior that they deem undesirable. And when you're purposefully and intentionally making videos about your workplace or the job or company that you work for, yeah, you're kind of asking for it at that point.
So it turns out social media is impacting whether or not I get a job. Basically, I got an email talking about my social media presence from someone that's looking to hire, and they said basically I would be in consideration if I limited my social media presence, basically implying that to be in consideration for this job, my social media would have to kind of stop. I always told myself that that wasn't the reason why I was getting a job, that maybe it was something else, or maybe it was just a reason. But that kind of freaked me out, and now I really have to think about what I'm going to do moving forward. I don't like that, you know, for someone like me who's a micro-influencer, I don't even really have that many followers. I don't like that because I have some followers, that's hurting my chances of getting a job. But I do need to sit down over the next few days and figure out just what I'm going to do and what's the smart move for me moving.
The smartest move is to take the job, keep making your content, and then keep going. Call the bluff, nigga. Call their bluff. What are you talking about? What are we talking about here? Sometimes I look at some people and I'm just like, what is your way of thinking? hold on, they said this, so they warned me about this. No, I'm finna do it. I'm finna see what happens. Because I already didn't have you last week. I didn't have you as a job. Now I have you as a job this week. If I lose you, I just didn't have you already. I don't need you. Going to the next job. We spin the block. Amazon, hire me.
Forward, I love posting. This is my favorite hobby to do. I couldn't just give this up right now to be in consideration for a job because this is the only way I make income right now aside from a side job that I also do. So I didn't want to just stop posting altogether just to be in a consideration for one job that it wasn't a guarantee I was even going to get. So that's why I was like, I can't stop that because this is income that I make that's a decent amount of money.
So don't stop.
But yeah, overall, I'm a little concerned. Let me know what you think I should do in the comments. I don't know. I might take a few days and just figure out what I'm going to do, but this sucks.
Oh, we got ads. I'm sorry, I'm poor. I don't got YouTube Premium. The more y'all subscribe and hype my videos, it's free. The more we can both afford this.
I think this is a very informational video to learn from because for some companies, it's not about the content that you post, but more so the fact that you have an online presence. If you go to the comment section or just take a look at the videos that he's posted in the past, there's nothing wrong with them. He hasn't posted anything offensive or controversial, but it's the fact that he has a social media presence overall. Remember,
I think it's a possibility of what he could do if he doesn't like his job, or if, they're manipulating this motherfucker, giving him 100-hour weeks and doing all this crazy shit. Or he sees how they're being treated and they don't have benefits, or you know what I'm saying? Like, he has a following that can destroy whatever they're trying to do there, the people they're trying to use there. And they don't want that. They want you to be a regular degler. You have a problem, you say something, you speak up about it, no one ever cares. No one believes you. No one gonna do anything for you because no one cares about you. That's what they want.
As an employee for a company, you're seen as a liability. And it doesn't necessarily matter what type of position you have within that company. You can be HR, you can be a CEO or CFO or anything like that. And depending on who's running the show, unless you are the CEO, you can get fired still. And just really think about it. For some employees, the way that the company sees it is, well, you're working for us and yet you're dedicating all your time to something else, which means you're not really focused on our company, you're focused in whatever it is that you're doing. And that should be normal. Right. That's the reality of everything. Since jobs ever existed, when you're not on the job, you should be able to do whatever it is that you want. But companies see it a different way. Because if they had to hire a future employee that had a social media account and one who didn't, more likely than not, they're going to take the candidate who doesn't have a social media presence at all. And there's always that possibility that this person sees social media as their full-time thing or something that they want to do in the future. So they're just going to invest all this money into this brand new employee, and then a year, 2 years down the line, they quit to do social media full time. That's another way that you have to look at it from a company's perspective. Now, nobody really cares.
How do y'all feel about that? Like, how do you guys feel about the whole job thing with the whole TikTok thing? Like, I know obviously I feel like controversial people, like there was a girl who was out there twerking on her patients, and you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing? Get your ass fired. Me personally, I'm like, damn, grandpa having a good time. But like, obviously I can see where that would draw concerns. Fire me. I can see the people that just, like the nurses that just show ass and twerk, and you and the don't do that in my establishment. But there's some people who just go about the right way, or their content might just be regular. Like for me, y'all think I'll have trouble finding a job? If I tried to get a job, y'all think I would? Probably, cause I be spamming curse words all the time. You feel me? So like,
but for the most part, that's how these companies are looking at it. You're a liability. And the more that you look at it, the more that you try to understand this situation, you'll understand that this is a massive cultural friction point. It always has been. The balance between work and your personal life, but more so corporate conformity. See, on social media, it's all about hyper-transparency, being super relatable to the average common man. But when it comes to a corporation or a job that you're working for, it's all about conformity. Everybody's the same, we wear the same uniform, or
yeah, they don't want you suiting up, throwing on the Amazon work vest, and this motherfucker's popular. Like, he's popular than half of us here. Corey Kenshin working a UPS job. Huh?
Or the same style of clothing and get the job done. On social media, you're pushed, forced to be unique, to be authentic, to be your true self. And so when those two worlds clash, oh yeah, it could make for a really bad situation. I mean, no wonder so many people on social media are willing to spill the beans about their job or workplace, because that's what social media calls for. Being super transparent, super authentic, and just being relatable.
It is my third day of work, and I literally am going fucking crazy. I'm sitting in traffic. It's gonna take me an hour to get home, and I regret it. I don't want this job. I can't do this. How do people like spend hours of their days commuting to work?
You gotta melt the front part of your brain, and then melt a little bit of the bottom part, the amygdala, right? The prefrontal cortex, the second quadrant, and the back of the amygdala back here, and then you're a work zombie. And then you just fuck it. I got to. Shit. I gotta drive an hour here and then an hour back to rest for 20 minutes and then go back for my 8-hour shift. You got to. If you want it that bad, you gotta.
I really need to figure out this commute. I'm literally like, I need to work from like 7 to 3 p.m. I hope that's an option because I cannot sit here like this for one more freaking day. This is fucking insanity how people do this.
Yeah, I would have deleted that video too, girl, but the internet is forever, so we're going to talk about it, and I'm even going to show some clips of that deleted video. This woman is 8 months pregnant and married to a police officer. She posted a video showing the day in the life of a police officer because she was with him for basically his whole shift. That included going to calls, and she said she has done this so many times.
I have done so many ride-alongs.
And I just am not convinced this is legal or appropriate per police protocol, so let me show you some clips and then we'll talk more about it.
He has briefing from 6 to 7, so I decided to skip briefing this morning, but let's go meet up with him.
You decided to skip the briefing, or civilians are not allowed in police briefings? I don't know. Crazy question, I know, but let's keep watching.
It's 9:58 a.m. We're on our second call of the day, which was an unknown, possibly a mental health call or an unknown.
Nah, this is actually insane. This is actually insane. He probably don't even know. What if she's a stalker, psycho, loser, bitch? And she's not actually married? She just sneaking into niggas' cars talking about, oh, my husband. He don't even know who this person is. He don't know who this person is. She knows his badge number.
Contact. I chose not to get out of the car for this one because it felt a little private, so I'm letting my husband obviously do his job while they talk to the reporter of the call.
Husband.
So what I'm hearing from that friend is that you do typically get out of the car for your husband's police calls because, again, this seems wildly inappropriate for so many reasons.
I think this type of content just reinforces this idea of the main character syndrome. At this point,
that's dumb as fuck. I would never think you should ever do that. Your ass get a straight bullet. We watch body cams on his channel 24/7. We seen a police officer get shot in the face a few days ago. In the head. It could have been your wife because she's over there. This is one of those things you tell your grandkids or like, you know, your kids, like when they're like 16, 17, you like, you know, back in the day, I used to actually go and follow him at work sometimes. And, you know, like I would show up. You know, it's one of those things. You don't sit here and say in the present, I'm with him right now. No, you finna get him fired. You guys got no pension now and no job. And everybody hates you. Congratulations. Without further ado, man, I'm gonna end the video right there. Appreciate all Roger. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Like it to death, boy. Let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comment section. I'm gonna see you on the next one. I'm gone.